Hi everyone, my name is Michael, and today we're going to be giving you a tutorial on how to play chess. So we're going to be showing you how to actually set up all the pieces on the board, and also how to move all the pieces around and stuff. Okay, so here we actually have the setup. I think everything looks good in here. You have the row of pawns, then you get behind that, and that's where all the main pieces to the game are. So first thing we're going to do is just start setting them up. So you have your pawns go in front. And then you get, here is the queen, probably the most versatile of all the pieces. The king, the most important. The two bishops. I think you call these the knights, the ones that look like horses. And last but not least, the rooks. Okay, so you basically just do that the same way on the other end, and you're all set up to actually play. Now, the actual pieces to the game here, you have the pawns. On their first move, they can move forward 2 spaces, but from then on out, they can only move just 1 space. So after that, like let's say there's another pawn right here, or maybe even right here. So you can actually jump that pawn, and you can take the pawn away, and that's how pretty much the goal of the game. So then you get to the rook. The rooks can only move in a straight line. Then on the opposite end you have the bishop. They can only move in a diagonal line like that. The ones that look like horses, the knights, they are a little bit weird. They can move in like what we always like to call it in like an L shape. So 2 forward, then 1 over. So that might be a little bit confusing. Then you have the queen, can pretty much do anything except that thing that the knight just did. Can't move it like that, but can pretty much do everything else. And then there's the king. All the king can do is just move 1 space forward in any direction. So that's pretty much how you play chess. Okay, so the point of the game of chess is to pretty much exterminate all of the opposing players' pieces. So probably the first situation that you'll encounter in this game is when 2 pawns are stacked up against each other like this. And so a pawn, even though he can only move forward most of the time, if he's given the opportunity to actually jump another piece of the board, you can actually go diagonally like that. So that's how you can actually get rid of another player's piece with a pawn. Okay, so now we're a little bit later into the game, and we're getting into the part where most of the pawns are gone, and so we have to start exploring these other pieces here. You have the rook, who can only move in a straight line, can jump other pieces by just doing that, whereas with the pawns, they have to kind of mix it up a little bit when they're jumping other pieces. The rooks pretty much do the same thing. The knights go in an L shape. They do pretty much the same thing that they always do. And then the bishops, which move in a diagonal way, can jump the opposing pieces like that. And then you have the queen, which can pretty much do anything, really. Go like that, or like that, or like, yeah. She can go diagonally, horizontally. The only thing the queen can't do is move in an L shape. So here's an example of a situation where the bishop is kind of left exposed here. He can't get the queen because the bishop can only move diagonally, but the queen is a lot more versatile. She can go like that, or like that, or yeah, pretty much any way except for the weird L shape the knight does. So she can get rid of the bishop in this move. So this situation right here is pretty much at the end of the game when one player is getting ready to pretty much win. You have the king is the last player remaining, or the last piece remaining. The only way he can move is this way, because he can't move that way or that way, because the rooks would get him. The queen, once the queen moves here, that would be the end of the game, since the king can no longer move any of the different places. So that's pretty much how you play chess.